Imagine if you were a farmer born in the 1900s and you wanted to open a small shop in your town. You wanted to be like every other successful person who ever built something big and made a name for themselves. And when you did finally open up your shop, it didn't go the way you thought it would and was shut down. As a result, you gave up, went back to farming, and only daydreamed about having a business for the rest of your life. And as bad as that story sounds, this still happens to people every day. But like the poor farmer, we now have access to what every successful person did before they made it to the top. In The Law of Success, Napoleon Hill studied the habits of the most wealthiest and successful men of the era, such as Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and John D. Rockefeller. With his studies, he wanted future generations to use these tips as tools to reach their full potential. So let's return back to the 1900s and see just what mistakes the farmer made and what should have been done instead by using Napoleon's research. And to make it easy, we'll name him Bill. The first principle is your definite chief aim. Identify your chief goal. Imagine Bill's mistake was opening a business with the motivation so he could be as rich as John D. Rockefeller. But after the first week, he noticed his business wasn't getting the attention he thought it would. As each day goes by, he gets tired and loses motivation. He then begins measuring how much money he's making to his level of success. He then questions why he even started his business in the first place. Set a goal before you achieve it. Not having a solid aim can set you up for failure because you lose sight of what you wanted. If you open up a business or start a project, don't set your mind to how much money you'll make or how many customers you'll get. Focus on creating the best product you can make. Focus on doing the best you can at something. The second principle is self-confidence. Believe that you're worthy of success and that it's possible to achieve your goals. Imagine Bill now questioning himself because he doesn't know if he's capable of becoming successful. He's scared he's going to look dumb in front of the entire town if they see him fail. By just having an understanding of how simple it could be to try anything out, you will accomplish your goals. It's having the will of knowing you might fail every now and then, but it's your determination that keeps you going. Confidence isn't believing you're going to succeed with zero failures. It's believing you could do something, and if things go bad, can still come up with a plan to fix it. The third is the habit of saving. Stop trying to buy the most expensive thing that's on your mind. Let's say while Bill had his business open, he wanted to show off in front of his friends that he was wealthier than he actually was. He spent money on expensive clothing and accessories, but as a result, he used up most of his business emergency and stocking funds. Avoid trying to live beyond your needs to prevent the dangers of debt. If you feel more comfortable with buying a Chevy than a Jaguar, go for it. Create a habit of saving your money so it gives you more opportunities in the future. Showing off your wealth isn't a goal you want. The only people you'll attract are snakes who only want you for your money and what they could get from you. The fourth is having initiative and leadership. Being a leader requires knowing the basic manners of telling others what to do, acknowledging your own failures, and taking responsibilities. Bill's mistake was constantly releasing his anger upon his employees, who then lost their own motivation to work there. He never owned up to his mistakes and constantly blamed everyone but himself. Don't make yourself try to appear smarter than you actually are, because that's a trap that will hurt you in the end. Treat your coworkers and employees well, because they're the life of your business. A work relationship should be treated just as valuable as a romantic or a friendship one. The fifth is using your imagination. Embrace your daydreams because they can be useful. They lead you into ideas that could turn into a business. Bill assumed that to become a businessman, he had to get rid of any childish thoughts he ever had. He thought he had to think like an adult and never have fun in order to be great as John D. Rockefeller. But what it did instead was give him zero good ideas on ways to improve his business or get more customers. Don't be afraid to dream and use your imagination to lead you towards your goals. Albert Einstein often said that the true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Your dreams and actions are what create revolutionary ideas that attract millions. The sixth is enthusiasm. Positive thoughts will always persuade you to do something. Combine enthusiasm with your work and daily life. Due to the lack of sales in Bill's business, his positivity is lowered, and this makes him lazier. He finds it more difficult waking up every morning and going to work. Your enthusiasm prevents you from getting as tired as you would be if you started a task half-heartedly. And if you don't know how to spark that sense of enthusiasm inside you, Wear nicer clothing so you can feel like $1,000,000. If you feel more comfortable in your pajamas, work that way. Everyone has their own taste and what they feel comfortable in. Just wear something that makes you feel good about your appearance. The 7th is self-control. Think of autosuggestion, like reprogramming your mind to replace the old beliefs with newer ones that will help you instead. This is known as the process of taking control. While Bill was running his store, rather than seeing the good side of things, he constantly saw the world as an evil place. When you take over your thoughts, you take control of the route you want to go. But you have to think of the thoughts you want to hear rather than the negative. You should think of what you would like others to say about you. Don't see yourself as a failure. See yourself as an amazing person. The 8th is the habit of doing more than paid for. If you're just going to whine about your work, then you won't get anywhere. Because of all the work that Bill had to do with inventory, convincing others to come to his business, and dealing with the paperwork, he continued complaining that life was unfair. This then increased his procrastination habits and left him behind on his task. Concentrate on the work in front of you and determine what else needs to be done. This takes you further than what you didn't believe was possible, and this principle works well whether you're working for a company or for yourself. The 9th is having a pleasing personality. Your personality is what attracts others to you. If you have a nasty personality like Bill, who yells at people, ignore others, and speak more about himself, you're filling the role of what a successful person does. The ability to smile, keep eye contact, and show your interest in what someone has to say to you will always make you more desirable in their eyes. Focus more on the other person you speak to rather than yourself. Don't complain because it gets you nowhere. Everyone has their own issues, and try to make yours sound more important won't do anything but make the other person ignore you. The 10th is having an accurate thought. Organize facts from information and focus on the clarity of your thoughts. Organize your facts into 2 categories, the important and the unimportant. This lets you separate what isn't necessary when you are working on your business. Instead of following Bill's steps by completing useless tasks that didn't even relate to his business, complete your most crucial ones at the beginning of the day. And the next is concentration. Focus your attention upon a given desire until you reach that point. Test your knowledge by trying something you learned. Because Bill didn't concentrate on trying to find the best way to relate to his customers, he lost their attention and support. The 12th principle is cooperation. The ability to work alongside your coworkers or employees will get you closer to your goal than if you were to do everything by yourself. After Bill's coworkers had quit on him, he assumed he didn't need anyone but himself. Even if you know how to do everything in your business, don't give yourself that burden because you'll only set yourself up for failure. The 13th principle is failure. Be happy with failure when it happens. Recognize that it's unavoidable and the path to success. After Bill's business finally went bankrupt, he took it as a sign he wasn't meant to be a businessman. He assumed no one who ever owned a great business never failed and that they were the luckiest people in the world. But that's not true. It took Thomas Edison more than 10,000 attempts before he found something that worked for him. Henry Ford ruined his reputation with a couple failed automobile businesses and still rose to the top. Nothing makes people quit faster than the first time they failed at something. All failure means is that you're heading towards the right path and you're receiving direct results. Think of your failures as temporary defeats. The 14th principle is tolerance. Every day, people judge others when they're not even in a position to criticize no one at all. For example, after Bill had failed his business, he criticized anyone who gave up on their dreams and called them failures. You don't have to adopt someone's beliefs or lifestyle, but don't be quick to judge someone while understanding them first. See the best in people and situations. See everyone for their best qualities rather than the stereotype or rumor given to them. It's easy to make an assumption, but you can possibly underestimate someone's full potential if ignored. And the last principle is the golden rule. We sometimes forget we're not the only ones going through a tough situation. Someone you work with can be suffering from deep depression even though they show a smile on their face. Your customer may be suffering from loneliness and just need a simple hello or how are you that can boost their day. So treat others as you like to be treated. Think of others as you like them to think of you. The more you spread a positive vibe upon anyone who's in your life, the easier it is to form friendships and relationships. and that's The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill.